Alright, I gotta keep it real with y'all. This is a public service announcement to all the viewers of this channel. I am getting tired of the NBA Who Would You Rather Have questions. I understand that's the title of this video, and I'm gonna be answering some today. But it's not because I don't want to answer them. It's because I get some of the weirdest, some of the wackest ones ever. One I get hit with often is, Kenny, who would you rather have? Magic Johnson or Larry Bird? And on paper, that question seems perfect, right? But personally, it's hard for me to answer because I've never seen them play. Sure, I can look at highlights, I can look at statistics, accolades and stuff. People hit me with that men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers can definitely lie. Perfect example, y'all remember that year Jerry Stackhouse averaged 30 points per game? Of course you don't, because it was 2001 and most of y'all probably weren't even born yet. Let me give y'all a little backstory. Jerry Stackhouse, who may be a new name for some of y'all, averaged 30 points per game in 2000-2001 season. And if you look at that, if you're just looking at statistics, you'll be like, wow, Jerry Stackhouse used to be a dog. And granted, he did have some game, but he wasn't elite ever. So how did this player average 30 points per game if he was never elite? Well, he's putting up a lot of shots on a bad team. He was never player of the week. He averaged 30 points per game, which is second in the league behind Allen Iverson, and didn't make an all-NBA team. Numbers can lie, because you would think, wow, Jerry Stackhouse was really the man that year, huh? He really wasn't. So I just decided for these future videos of who would you rather have, or just basically any NBA question, I'm just gonna go off the players that I've seen. All right? So no more MJ questions, which is weird to even. Should I take this down? Y'all thought I was gonna disrespect the GOAT. No, we're not taking it down. But y'all feel what I'm saying? It's hard for me to answer those questions just because I haven't really seen them play. I understand that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were great. Of course, I understand that MJ was great. But I'm just gonna answer the stuff that I know. All right, let's get to the first one though. Would you rather have Jaylen Brown or Andrew Wiggins? Personally, I'm gonna take Jaylen Brown. I understand at probably this point in time, Andrew Wiggins is probably a better player than him. Definitely a better offensive player than him. But I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown because he is a two-way player. One thing Wiggins has lacked throughout the entire career so far is that defensively, he ain't got it. Which is so weird to me because you look at this player, he's extremely athletic, he's fast, he's got a crazy wingspan. He should be a decent defender. Well, no. Coach Nick at B-Ball Breakdown basically told us straight up that him and Karl-Anthony Towns are two of the worst defenders in the league. I'm going to take Jaylen Brown for another reason is that he's got better year after year. And honestly, I can't really say that much about Wiggins. Sure, his statistics may have went up a little bit more, but again, numbers can lie. Wiggins, his game is relatively the same. He hasn't really evolved as much as you would want him to, especially at the #1 overall pick that he was. So I'm going to take JB in hopes that one day he'll be better than Wiggins. But like right now, sure, I said Wiggins is better, but I don't think it's like crazy amount. Maybe Wiggins is right here and JB's right here. And I'm just going to take JB and develop him. Would you rather have prime Rajon Rondo or prime Chris Bosh? Honestly, I think I'm gonna go prime Rondo here. And this is all contingent on like what the rest of the team look like, because obviously Rondo was not a guy that's gonna, or prime Rondo wasn't a guy that's gonna go out and drop 20 a night. That just never really was his game. But he was one of the most effective players in the league on both sides of the floor. He got everybody involved. He was the floor general on that team that won a championship in 2008. Fact check that. I think it was 2008. He was the floor general, and not just that, he was the primary ball handler. He got, think about this. He was a star himself, and he kept 3 other stars happy with his distributing of the ball. I know in the locker room, he's been some problems, and he had some feuds with like Ray Allen even, but I just think that he was such a crazy good player, and he was super fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, Chris Bosh was not bad at all. You know, he was an all-star multiple times and everything, but I'm going to take Rajon Rondo. The big question is, when was prime Bosh? Was it like his first couple years in Miami, or are we talking about Toronto? It's a good question to think about. Give me Rondo. Would you rather have Allen Iverson or Kyrie Irving? Yeah, I'm gonna take Allen Iverson. Kind of easy for me. Not saying that Kyrie Irving's bad or anything, because y'all know that's not true, but Allen Iverson is one of the few players I've watched throughout my basketball viewing career that I watched and I literally thought that he was unstoppable. It has always been that way. When I watched him play, I literally thought there was not a player in the league that could stop him. He was listed at 6 feet, but let's be real, he's probably more like 5'10" or 11. You know, he got a couple inches because of the shoes or whatever. And he would go down to the paint with the biggest players in the league and bump bodies. I've told this story on the show on here before, but Matt Barnes, who was a teammate with him, they played together in Philadelphia. When you look at Allen Iverson, he always wears a sleeve, you know, an elbow thing. And then Matt Barnes said when you get back to the locker room, he'll take that elbow thing off and there'll be these huge knots on his body because he was being pushed around so much because he was so small. But what did he do when he was getting pushed around? He was putting the ball in the basket. And he's one of the people that's led a team to a championship game. Obviously, he didn't win because he went against that Lakers team. That you look at their roster and you're watching that team play, and he was the only bucket getter on the team. Dikembe Mutombo was good, but he wasn't no bucket getter. He's more defensive, you know. Allen Iverson was the only bucket getter on the team that got all the way to a championship game and stole game 1. So Allen Iverson is my guy, 100%. He's one of the main reasons I love the game of basketball today. So I'm going to pick him. Would you rather have LeBron James Jr. or Zaire Wade? I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure. Y'all really out here picking between these dudes? I don't think either of these dudes are even in high school. Yes, I've seen the highlights of Bronny Jr. Yes, I've seen the highlights of the Wade son. They both look really solid. But I'm not about to sit here and try to pick between these two dudes who ain't even played a minute of high school ball. I'm sure they both will make it to the league and all, but like, I'll wait until they're in the league before I get to pick between the two. I think the Wade son is 16. I think Bronny Jr. is like 14 or something like that. I'm not picking between those. Next, would you rather have Giannis or Kevin Durant? I'm going to take Kevin Durant. I believe he is a superior player. I think Kevin Durant is the second best player in the league. Giannis is not too far behind him, but I'm going to take KD. Sure, you may hate him, but you got to respect his game. He's got a lot of it. There's no holes in Kevin Durant's offensive game. Trust me. If he wanted to score on the block with you, oh yeah, he could. If he wanted to hit a mid-range jump on you, yeah, he can do that. If he wanted to smack a 3 in your face, he can do that. There's nothing that he lacks offensively, and even defensively, he's got to the point where he's a pretty good defender. Over the past couple of years, Kevin Durant was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play some defense, and I'm gonna try to block shots. I'm gonna get dunked on sometime, but I'm gonna try to block shots. I'm gonna try to get steals. Giannis, great player. He's got holes in his game too, though. You know, I'm gonna take the more complete player at this point in time with Kevin Durant. Would you rather have Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker? Listen up, y'all. We talked about this on my podcast a few weeks ago, and it got pretty heated, man. It was definitely one of the better debates. I was team Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, I was team Donovan Mitchell. I just think that what Donovan Mitchell did was so incredible, and I can't overlook that. I just can't overlook that. I even think Devin Booker's younger at this point by a couple months or something like that. But think about what what Donovan Mitchell did in his rookie season. The Utah Jazz lose their star player. Everybody in the world, except for me, said that the Utah Jazz were not going to make the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell bursts onto the scene as a rookie, averages 20 points per game, and they make the playoffs. Boom. That is incredible. And then when they get to the playoffs, they're going against the OKC Thunder, which is one of the best defending teams in the league. He averages 28 points per game as the underdog and wins that series. Listen, I can't overlook that. I cannot overlook that. So I'm going to be team Donovan Mitchell at this point. Devin Booker, sure, he can score the ball, but I'm not 100% sure if Devin Booker is a good stats, bad team guy. But over the next couple years, we're definitely going to figure it out because the Phoenix Suns have been trying to make their team better finally. So maybe my opinion on this will change by the end of this season. But right now, I'm Donovan Mitchell. Would you rather have prime Steve Nash or prime Stephen Curry? Give me Stephen Curry. Oh, did that surprise you? It shouldn't have. Stephen Curry. In their prime, would you rather have Duncan and Robinson or Davis and Cousins? Yeah, I got to see the very tail end of Duncan and Robinson right before Robinson retired. So yeah, give me the Admiral and the big fundamental. It's funny because when the Pelicans made that trade initially to pick up DeMarcus Cousins, when I saw the tweet from, I think it was Adrian Wojnarowski, I just tweeted out a picture of David Robinson and Tim Duncan, because I thought this was about to be the next big man duo, the next successful Twin Towers, and the experiment didn't go too well. You know, he comes to the team, and obviously it's a learning curve. They did make the playoffs fine. Season number 2, things get a little bit better. They're looking all great. He gets injured, and then he goes somewhere else. So the experiment was kind of a failure, but they didn't lose anything in it. They traded Buddy Hield, if you ask me. You know, it's not that big of a loss. But if I was picking between the two duos, I'm going to take the original Big Fundamental and the Admiral and keep it rolling. And that's it, boys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all know this channel is an opinions welcome channel that you may disagree with every single thing I said in this video, but nonetheless, I hope you found some type of enjoyment. You know, if you disagree, that's the comment section is for. Let me know why you disagree and maybe we can have a small debate. Maybe you can change my mind. Yeah, change my mind. If you think Steve Nash over Stephen Curry, tell me why. And I'll give you a rebuttal of why Stephen Curry I'd rather have, all right? Thank y'all so much. It's Kenny. I'll be back tomorrow. We're this close to NBA 2K19 and I can smell it. Oh yeah, big things happening. Thank y'all. Peace.